Are you a filmmaker entrepreneur? Are you trying to find ways your screenplay could reach a wide audience? You can't wait to see your script come to life. This video will give you a few tips on developing your career as a writer. To do that, let's learn about the different ways content marketing can help you. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. Here is a short definition of content marketing. Content marketing is a strategic marketing approach focused on creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and retain a clearly defined audience. From blog posts to infographics and everything in between, creating unique, consistent, and truly useful content is the #1 way to connect with your audience most effectively. Content on the web takes a variety of forms: blog posts, social media posts, video and audio recordings, web pages, white papers, essays, and more. Content writers therefore specialize in written content. That's where you come in. I didn't mention screenwriters because it's not a popular mention, and most screenwriters would not typically describe themselves as content writers. Some believe to be in another category of writing, and to some extent, they're right. The internet has paved the way for groups of people to build a brand and business around their passions. Gary Vaynerchuk was one of the first to talk about it in mainstream media and to readers around the world with his book, Crush It. He shows how to use the power of the internet to turn your real interests into real businesses. I'm not sponsored by Gary. His book was written in 2009, and the concept has gone global with the rise of multiple social media platforms bringing attention from users and consumers. So how do you benefit from all of this as a screenwriter? Get more people to see your work. The simple answer to the question of how more content can help writers is that content drives traffic. You are a storyteller, which means that your content is defined by stories. I've talked about the ways filmmakers can build a brand and grow their audiences. The same concept can be applied for writers. There are several websites with writers that share information or stories about their passions that is generating millions of visitors per month. The amount of traffic can lead to many other business and career opportunities. Writing stories and publishing them online will get more people to see your work. Don't settle by writing stories and storing them in your computer or hard drive. Share them with the world. Different platforms where you could be sharing your content right now include website, blogging platforms, social media pages, etc. No big production budget needed. Filmmakers are familiar with the costs associated with certain productions. One of the biggest obstacles a filmmaker faces trying to tell stories is the misconception of needing a big budget for their films. There's a filmmaker and YouTuber that goes by the name of Darius, and I'll link him below. He actually has several videos explaining the different ways to tell stories on a budget. Writers, however, do not have to worry about having a big budget to tell stories. Do you own a computer? Maybe a laptop or an iPad. Even phones have apps where writers can hash out stories. We live in a time where technology is eliminating obstacles for artists and creators in order to allow them to do what they do best: create. How does a writer benefit from an audience? You might be wondering how your career and income will benefit from having an audience. For starters, having an audience will open networking opportunities for you. Someone visiting your website and reading your content could be an executive looking for the next story to distribute, a brand looking for opportunities to connect with creators, or a director looking for someone to work on the screenplay for his or her next feature film. We also cannot continue without mentioning the opportunity to monetize your own product. Have you considered selling your stories to consumers? Maybe you have a specific technique you would like to teach in a webinar. There are ways to monetize valuable information with other fellow writers. I'll let you think about that for a moment. Traffic that goes to your website could be used to generate information from users, such as their emails. You can then turn those emails into customers through targeted email campaigns. This is just another way you can generate an income and have an impact on your career by simply sharing your stories and content with the online world. That's it. I hope this information helped you get a better sense of what it means to be a screenwriter and a content writer at the same time. Have you been sharing your content with the world? I'd love to know what kind of impact this has had on your career and even your income. Let me know in the comments below. We're continuing to navigate what it means to tell our story and reach the masses. Join me in this journey to learn the power of storytelling to drive success, growth, and influence. See you next week.